If you've ever wondered, what does my marketing need to be effective, to be engaging, to be interactive, and more importantly, what does my marketing need to really and truly generate the results that I'm looking for? If you are asking yourself those questions, this is the episode for you. So come on in and listen.
Welcome to the Behind Her Brand podcast with your host, Kimberly Spencer. Every week, join Kimberly and her guest for inspiring interviews with passionate business builders, corporate leaders, and catalysts of change. Plus, we will be sharing business and career building strategies and tools that you can use to grow. So let's dive into today's episode.
If you've ever wondered, what does my marketing need to be effective, to be engaging, to be interactive, and more importantly, what does my marketing need to really and truly generate the results that I'm looking for? If you are asking yourself those questions, this is the episode for you. So come on in and listen.
Welcome to the Behind Her Brand podcast with your host, Kimberly Spencer. Every week, join Kimberly and her guest for inspiring interviews with passionate business builders, corporate leaders, and catalysts of change. Plus, we will be sharing business and career building strategies and tools that you can use to grow. So let's dive into today's episode.
Now, you all know that I absolutely love talking about all things marketing and branding. I love talking about these areas because to me, marketing and branding is your own individual stamp on your products, your services, your brand, your voice. It speaks about your creativity. It tells people what you're about. It tells them about your value. So it's something to me that should be exciting and should be fun. But what I find is so many people are like, oh, I hate marketing myself. I feel sleazy. I don't like putting myself out there. I don't like doing all this stuff, the branding and this, that, and the other. And it becomes overwhelming. It doesn't become a thing that people enjoy doing. And for me, I love to try to help people to reframe that, to reframe how they're seeing it. Because here's the thing. If you're spending a lot of time developing amazing product, books, podcasts, training libraries, you name it, services, if you're spending the time and energy to create all these different things, and more importantly, these things are going to help someone. It's going to help them grow. It's going to help them scale. It's going to help challenge them. It's going to do something good. Then why not be excited about it? And why not be even more excited about presenting it to the world? And what I find the most is that many people feel more overwhelmed by all the different things that you're told to do. Market this many times a day, post this much, do this, do that, and it becomes really congested. So what I want to do is just take it down for a minute and talk about 7 critical marketing areas that you do need to have in place that will help your business run more effectively. And what I want you to think of this as is I know there's a term in marketing called your marketing wheel. There's even terms like your marketing funnel and all these different words for everything, right? I just want you to look at this as like your business house and looking at, is everything in order? Your foundation, let me use that instead. Your foundation is all these areas in place so that my marketing can be strong, so that it can be effective, and so that it can be engaging and yield you the results that you're looking for, okay? Because when you have these things in place, I'm not exaggerating when I say that you can have less stress. It can be less time consuming. It can feel less overwhelming, okay? So let's look at a couple of 7 critical areas. Now, this is a good time if you don't have a pen and paper. I challenge you to listen to this again and have that with you because I want you to write down some of the things that I'm sharing with you and then ask yourself, is this showing up in my business? Okay. I'm a real big believer that it's great to read things and listen to things, but it's also even better to have the application piece to it. Okay. So the first critical area is do you have a market that is hungry to consume your message or your product or your service? Okay. Here's the thing. Too often business owners build a business around no market. They build it around what they think everyone wants or what they think is needed or what they think, but they haven't really tested what they're thinking. They haven't really seen, is there a real hunger for it? Here's the thing. If you create the most amazing service and product and nobody's looking for it, nobody's asking for it, nobody's even searching for it, then you're creating something that really and truly is not going to go anywhere. So very often what I challenge people to do is if you have an idea and you have a concept, Reach out to people that are part of the audience you're trying to attract and ask them what their opinion is. Asking your friends, asking your family, people who may not be your audience, is not going to give you the data that you need. You really need to ask the audience that you're trying to attract and say, you know what? I have this idea, this concept, and I want to know, is this something that you feel like would fit a solution to something that you're looking for? That is vital. Like, that's step one. You can't go to step 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 without completing step one first. Making sure that you have an audience that really and truly is hungry for what it is that you would like to offer. Okay. Now, you can do this a number of ways. Like I mentioned, you can do an informal like focus group. You can look up trade industry magazines. A lot of trade groups or niche areas have podcasts. They have periodicals. They have so many different information out there. And I would spend some time really reading and looking and trying to determine what exactly are the needs that are out there, because that's going to be very important when you're trying to build a marketing system that's effective. Okay. Next, do you have a marketing message that grabs your prospects and gets them to want to read your material, your blogs, your ads, your marketing pieces? Is your messaging on point? This is an area that sometimes really hems up somebody. It makes them feel like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to write this. I'm not a copywriter. I'm not this and I'm not that. And I get it. I am not the best writer. Okay. But here's the thing. Whenever you're writing a marketing message, one of the biggest things to keep in mind is speak in a way that your audience understands what it is that you're trying to say and offer. Oftentimes, what happens is we create marketing lingo in our messaging. We create all these wording, all this fluff, all this content that your audience is like, okay, I don't get it. What are you offering again? What are you doing? And it gets lost. It just gets lost. And you don't want that. You don't want your messaging to get lost. So if your audience, for example, are women over 40 who are looking for adventure, right? You want your messaging to speak to that woman, speak to that person who is like, you know what? I'm 40 years old and I have not had a really great adventure. I have not explored the world. I have not taken a big leap of faith. So your messaging needs to fit that audience. Okay. Whoever your audience is, listen to what they're saying. Listen to what's being shared. Listen to the things that are taking place online and offline, because you want to make sure that you're understanding what is being communicated. And then you want to make sure that your voice is in alignment with what's being said. So, for example, this is a really, really good one. If your audience is students, especially in this time, and you want to challenge them on more academic excellence, you wouldn't come in scolding them about how students today just don't read enough. So our service will help make sure that you do that. Well, that doesn't elicit any kind of excitement. That doesn't elicit anyone to say, yeah, I'm going to tune into this company who's telling me that I'm not reading enough, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. But if you come in saying, man, if you were to read just one extra this, that, and the other in a day, you can have this type of result. Okay. If you can really help them see the benefit, you help them see by doing this, this will take you to A, it could take you to B, and it could take you to C. It can help someone see, okay, I get it. So if I do this, I can grow. I can become better. You challenge them in a different kind of way. But if you come at them in a way that is not attractive to what they're needing to hear, you're going to turn off your audience. Wrong messaging will turn off an audience. Ineffective messaging will turn off an audience. So messaging is key. And again, you can also test group this audience as well to make sure, if you're like, well, I'm not really sure if I should say it this way, that way, create some different content, put it out there and see what the response looks like. Okay. All right. So I hope this is helpful so far. And we're going to move on to the next one. Number 3 is a system for increasing the lifetime customer value for each customer. Okay. Now, this is not about getting a client. This is about retaining them. Now, let me say this, and I think it's important to share. Whenever you're creating anything in your business, you want to create things obviously of value, things that will help someone grow. And oftentimes you may create something and people have gotten everything they needed to get from you, and then it's time for them to move on, right? But if you have a way for a client to grow with you, or if you have a way for customer, client, whatever the terminology is for your industry, if you have avenues for them to continue to build with you, to grow with you. And when I say that, meaning that you're increasing the service, you're adding increased value, then make sure you have that system in place. Here's the thing about marketing. Whenever someone makes a decision to work with you, to buy from you, to support you, you have their interest. Okay? You have what industry calls like know, like, trust. They feel like they know you, they like you, and they trust you because they decided to invest in what it is you're offering. So when you have that already, then you want to nurture that and you want to build that by giving them a really strong experience. You want to make sure that you're offering services that will allow them to stay around, stay with you longer. Can't get that out my mouth there. But you want to make sure that you're giving them that value. And so when you look at what you're offering right now, ask yourself, am I creating different ways for people to work with me? Maybe you have a coaching group and you're like, well, I really love my group, but I have two people that are feeling like, you know what, I think I've kind of maxed out the group thing. Well, is there a one-on-one option with you? Is there a maintenance type of program with you? Is there something else that they can do with you? Look at that value because that's going to be very key, and that should be a part of your marketing system as well. Now, on the other side of that, if you don't have that, and that's not something that your business actually is structured as, don't worry about this particular piece. Okay. Although I mentioned that it is critical to have some type of value system for customers to stay connected to you, not all businesses is going to have like a step ladder for people to grow into, but maybe you might have a blog where they can stay connected to your brand. Maybe you might have annual retreats where you bring together customer clients or appreciation dinners or things of that nature. That's also another avenue to create more engagement and customer value along the way. Okay. Another one is, and this is number 4, making sure that you have a system in place to reach customers and people that you're trying to, your audience, if you will, that don't make their buying decisions based on price. Now, y'all, this is so key because so often people think, okay, well, let me lower my price. Let me offer a free this and free that because I can get them in the door. That may get them in the door, but oftentimes you're attracting somebody that just wants something for free. Okay. So you want to make sure that you have a system in place in your marketing where you're communicating value. You're communicating your benefits. You're communicating why you are the choice. And that can show up in what you post, in the quality of your imagery, and the quality of your placement of your information, and how you choose to write information. All those different elements support people making a decision not based on price. They're making a decision based on the quality of your content. They're making a decision based on the quality of what you choose to put out there. People look at how you choose to present yourself. And so when they look at the different body of work that you're putting out there, they're going to make a decision. Is this someone I feel safe with my investment, or with my decision to lose weight with, or my decision to build my business with, my decision to hire them as a speaker? Is this a good decision, a wise decision? When I look at their body of work, it's just somebody I can tell really cares about their audience, really cares about the reader that's reading their blog. It's just someone that really cares about their image. Like they're not throwing up stuff from 3 or 4 years ago that's outdated. They're putting up new and fresh content and keeping me engaged. Those are the type of things that is very important when you're trying to reach people, not based on price, but you want them to base it on value. Okay. You also want to create a system where you're never left wondering where your next customer, client, or patient in some cases is coming from. Now, how do you do this? Consistency. Oh my goodness, consistency is the name of the game. You need to consistently be putting information out there, and especially information that's helpful, that's engaging. And when I say that, not just like quotes and things of that nature, but are you putting things out there for people to say, oh my God, I love how she thinks. I love how this person presents information. I love how they work with their clients. I love their creativity. Like, are they saying the things like that? Okay. Whenever you're putting out consistent information, consistent engagement, consistent visuals, and there's consistency across the board, it keeps people engaged with your brand. Now, let me flip it on the other side. If you're in the career world, it's the same thing. Are you consistently showing up? Are you consistently offering new ways to solutions? Are you offering new thoughts? Are you being engaging in conversations and meetings and things of that nature? It leaves people thinking of you top of line, if you will. Okay. Now, the other one, this is 6, is are your offline strategies for getting your messaging, your marketing messaging effective? This is very, very key. Everything isn't online. And I know that's crazy in this day and age, but everything is not online. Offline strategies, note cards, sending a text, picking up a phone, going to lunch, grabbing coffee, doing different things that require some face-to-face, some intentionality, some of those different things. That is a part of a marketing approach, okay? Because here's the thing. People love to deal with people when it comes to careers, when it comes to business building. They love to deal with someone that they feel like they know. That is critical. That's why I'm putting this as part of an area of your foundation. So the offline strategies are important. You know, we all talk about the great old thank you note because I'm a big believer in writing note cards. But what about the just thinking about you cards? Hey, you came to mind, just want to see how you're doing. Or if you see something that they're doing like crazy well online, send them a note, send them some flowers, or send them, something to let them know, man, I saw you, man. Congratulations. Great job. So proud of you. Whatever that might look like and be, that can also add so much value to your customer, client, or patient. And the last thing is your online strategies obviously needs to be on point as well. And it goes back to everything. It ties it up with a bow. Everything I said was even your online needs to be consistent. It needs to really represent who you are. And we'll go through this in another podcast, but it's very important throughout everything I mentioned with your marketing systems here is that your voice is clear, that it's not confusing. If they go to your website, they see you selling one thing, but they go to social media and something different. Then they go on the offline stuff and they see something mismatched. Everything needs a consistency. Everything needs to have a flow. So it's very important that you have a system in place. So I want you to take an honest minute and really think about the different areas that I talked about and ask yourself, do I have some of these things in place? And if I do have them in place, am I effective? Am I generating the results that I'm looking for? And if you're not, then challenge yourself to reframe these different areas. On the other side of that, if you're not doing some of these different areas, take some time and make notes and ask yourself, how can I improve? What are some ways that I can grow in these areas? And then from there, pick one thing to start with. This will not only help you, it will help you determine the areas that you can improve, the areas that need to be grown a little bit more. And also, by doing this exercise, it helps you create more balance in all that you are doing. And that's key, right? You want your marketing to be effective. So I challenge you to do these different activities. And let me say this, if you have any questions, post them below. I would love to hear your comments. I would love to hear what it is that you're working on in this area, because having a consistent marketing foundation is key, is important. And to me, someone in marketing and branding, I'll tell you this, when you have these different things in place, it makes your business run more smoothly. And it also allows you to be more creative and have more fun and be more present in what you're doing. And that's what you want your marketing to do. So I hope this was helpful, and I want to thank you again for listening to our Behind Her Brand podcast. And until next time, have a wonderful day, and you can visit us at www.behindherbrand.net.